the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
BetUS, where the game begins. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Listen, y'all hit that like button on your way in. We got breaking news. Ron Jaworski exposes the Miami Dolphin players. And you hear a little bit of Vic Fangio's side of the story, man. We're going to break that down because I'm going to tell y'all now, this ain't good. It's not good at all. We're getting exposed as an organization, and we'll talk about that. But know that this stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. On that 125% bonus, it is up to $2,500, 24/7 customer service, 24-hour payouts. You get your cash in less than 24 hours. In 24 hours, man, that's a quick turnaround. All right, y'all, punch that like button. Punch that like button so we can get started. We got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about. Man, oh man, have y'all seen? Have y'all heard the clip? Yes or no in the chat. Have y'all heard the clip? Oh, don't worry. I see a lot of people. Who is Ron? Joe Scott, you about to find out, okay? You're going to find out who it is, okay? Have y'all seen the clip? Y'all ain't heard the clip yet? Oh, well, y'all really getting breaking news. You're about to hear it here on TD Fans Talk. Well, first and foremost, before let's go ahead and get started. Listen, we all know what time it is. I've been trying to tell y'all on this channel that the reason Vic Fangio is no longer a Dolphin is multiple reasons, okay? People out here trying to debate with people on which reason is right. It's too many reasons. They all right, okay? So that's why it's not a debate. That's why it's not a debate. But it was very interesting that players start coming out trashing Vic Fangio, right? On top of that, agents coming out trashing Vic Fangio, right? And it's funny that the minute we had breaking news, Fangio no longer in Miami, in less than 10 minutes, I want to know why certain writers already had the story written and published. 10 minutes after he was fired, some of these writers already had the story written and published about his relationships with players and how he wasn't good. All Vic. This is what the Miami Dolphins do. It's the same thing they did to Flores. Soon as they let him go, they put them stories out. They already have their little pawns that put the stories out right away. They already tell them it's coming. Soon as it happened, release it. That's what I believe. Doesn't make it a fact, but that's what I believe. This is what the Dolphins do. They're in bed with certain members of media. My opinion, not a fact. This is what I believe. Making sure we clear on that. They immediately got their hands, they are in bed with certain media members. As soon as things happen, put it out. Because it don't make sense that things come out 10 minutes, like whole backstories, whole backstories that like it was already written weeks ago or something. Y'all ain't think that was crazy? The day that Fangio was fired, 10 minutes after it was breaking news, we had articles already dropping right away. What, they wrote the article and they said, just in case he get fired, I'm going to drop it. No. So let's break it down. First of all, for those who don't know who Ron Jaworski is, we're talking about an NFL player who played 17 years in the NFL. He is a Philadelphia guy. He's in the Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Fame, their Hall of Fame. 17 years. They called him Jaws. He got a nickname in the league. That's all you need to know. Okay? This guy went on to be a business mogul. He's making a lot of money. He has all the ties. It's one of those guys. He's still associated. He rubs hands and shoulders with the good old faithful, all the connects in the NFL. These are the guys that are as connected as there can be. He knows a lot. He owned a the other football league, one of the other league. He went in business with that. He owns multiple little franchises and betting things. He went on to be one of those money guys, but he's a Philadelphia guy. He knows the NFL. He knows everything going on in it. That's who he is. Ex-player, ex-executive for many years in this league. People like, we know who Ron is, but a lot of people were asking in the chat, who is Ron? Like, dang, y'all, and I ain't judging people. Like, he's somebody you should know, but you shouldn't, because especially Dolphin fans, we so ingrained in what happens in Miami that we don't know. But I don't even remember him playing, but I knew who he was. All right. Now let's go. I'm about to play the clip of what he said. Shout out to Brad with the first donation. Actually, the second. I ain't see the first one. Jaworski. LOL. My bad. I pronounced it wrong. I ain't never claimed to be a great pronouncer of names. But Brad said they did the same smear campaign against Flo. Omar and Big O were one of the main ones back then. Lo and behold, They are at it again. No comment. No comment. I'm trying to do better these days. Keep people name out of my mouth. Speak in generalizations. The media. Because they try to slander you and think that they the ones who have the clout to be able to do it. But I leave all the information up to y'all to decide. Don't you think it's funny that as soon as Fangio breaking news fired, 10 minutes later, articles were already out that you can click on and read? Articles that had to take at least 4+ hours to write. Don't you think that's funny? But you know, this is just me. I could be 100% wrong with my timing and all, right? Just throwing it out there. All right. Let me bring the clip up. Yeah. See, Fangio is a dog. Fangio knows what time it is. He know what it takes to win in this league. Fangio knows what it takes to win in this league, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. This is Ron Jaworski breaking it down how excited he is for Fangio to be in Philadelphia because he's still a Philly guy through and through. Here we go.
You have deep relationships with so many people in the NFL. And I'm curious from your personal standpoint.
Let me pause that. Let me play that again because they probably going to try to come out and smear his reputation. Let me play that again for the writers who think that they have sources. The writers that out here talking about, I have sources, it takes a long time to build these relationships. Well, this man been building relationships since the 80s in this NFL. So let me play that again for the people in the back.
You have deep relationships with so many people in the NFL. You have deep relationships with so many people in the NFL. You have deep relationships with so many people in the NFL. And I'm curious from your personal standpoint or just more observing standpoint through the years, what do you think of Vic Fangio and what he'll bring to the table?
I am absolutely very excited about. I've known Vic Fangio back since the mid '80s when he was with the USFL Philadelphia Stars as a volunteer, unpaid assistant, cutting his teeth in professional football.
Wild.
I've kept in touch with Vic all through the years. You won't find a better man, a football lifer, a guy dedicated to his profession, a great designer, not an ego that impacts anyone else. And when I knew it was going to be Vic, that was going to be hired, I started doing my research again. I know his football style and what he wants to do. But, back in 2019.
Isn't that what we heard from everybody when we hired Vic? All the same people that are knocking him today, he can't get along, this and that. Isn't that what they all were saying? Weren't they all on the Vic train for this very reason?
Stars as a volunteer, unpaid assistant, cutting his teeth in professional football.
Wild.
I've kept in touch with Vic all through the years. You won't find a better man, a football lifer.
See, when it comes to football, isn't this what everybody was saying? Oh, Flores couldn't hire a coaching staff. McDaniel got Vic Fangio.
A guy dedicated to his profession, a great designer, not an ego that impacts anyone else.
Not an ego that impacts anyone else. He just wants to win.
And when I knew it was going to be Vic, that was going to be hired, I started doing my research again. I know his football style and what he wants to do. But, back in 2019, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur were pretty damn good NFL coaches. All said, the toughest coach to prepare for defensively is Vic Fangio. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur were pretty damn good NFL coaches. All said, the toughest coach to prepare for defensively is Vic Fangio.
One more time for the people in the back.
Back in 2019, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur were pretty damn good NFL coaches. All said, the toughest coach to prepare for defensively is Vic Fangio. Now that's saying a lot right there. When those three guys at the height of the game, recognize Vic Fangio as a great designer.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of felt as things were falling apart after the season, there needed to be an adult in the room, a guy that really understood the ups and downs of the NFL. And I thought that's why Vic Fangio really fit that mold perfectly.
Just
He's head coach, he's been fired, he's been on different teams. He's been through it all. So you're going to get a guy that has great experience.
Does the Dolphins players speaking out against him and
here we go. Here we go. Here we go, y'all.
You get a guy that has great experience.
Does the Dolphins players speaking out against him I can't stand Drew Rosenhaus. I'll still hold him responsible for the TO thing 20 years ago, but Drew Rosenhaus going public, which is sort of unusual for an agent to do so about a coordinator that got whacked, or they moved on from, if you will. Does that give you some pause, or is that just the modern athlete? And does he need to do a better job from what you surmise of dealing with them?
So the guy's basically asking, you hear all the stuff in Miami coming out. Did that give hesitation? Do you pause? Does he have to be better in that area? Does he need to be better in that area that you're hearing all these rumors about him about?
It impacts you 0%. Coach is coach.
Thank you. Coach is coach. We ain't got time to be holding these little baby hands, these little crybabies. You can't talk to people like that. He's mean. He's not. You ain't got time for that. Coach is coach. They ain't got time for this soft stuff. That's why we get bullied every time you play a real team, because we soft. We soft. Thank you. Coach is coach. They ain't got to worry about your feelings. Why you think Tua doing what he doing now? Because McDaniel ain't got no real accountability on him.
Coach is coach. And, I have connections as well around this league. And, I hear another side of that story, that there were some players that story, that connections as well around this league. And, I hear another side of that story, coach. And, I have connections as well around this league. And, I hear another side of that story. And, I have connections as well around this league. And, I hear another side of that story.
One more time.
And, I have connections as well around this league. And, I hear another side of that story, that there were some players on that defense that didn't want to work, didn't want to put the time in, didn't want to put the effort in, didn't want to make the commitment to be successful. Guys like to party at night. And, South Beach is a really great place to party. And Vic tried to get those guys to push those guys to become harder workers and better athletes and more committed to their team. And he couldn't get through to those guys. So those are the guys that Vic was pushing, and they're the guys that are whining right now.
Those are the guys he was pushing, and them the ones that's whining right now. Them the ones that's whining right now.
Coach. And, I have connections as well around this league. And, I hear another side of that story, that there were some players on that defense that didn't want to work, didn't want to put the time in, didn't want to put the effort in, didn't want to make the commitment to be successful. Guys like to party at night. And, South Beach is a really great place to party. And Vic tried to get those guys to push those guys to become harder workers and better athletes and more committed to their team. And he couldn't get through to those guys. So those are the guys that Vic was pushing, and they're the guys that are whining right now.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. And straight up said, those are the guys that's whining right now. Those are the ones whining right now. Who all whining? Who all whining? Now it makes me worried about moving forward with Javon Holland. Now it makes me worried about certain stuff like that. Who do we have? Some of these guys probably should be better than they were this year, but they weren't putting the work in. Didn't we hear this with Brian Flores with Tua Tagovailoa? He out here golfing, and I feel like he should be in here putting in more work. Well, guys should be able to have their day off. Yes, but it's a coach's job to try to motivate you to be 1,000% football, to become a great. You're entitled your time off, but it is a coach's job to try to show you that your time off should be devoted into your craft so you can become a great. And the same thing Fangio came to Miami and saw on defense. He noticed these guys out here partying. You saw it on Hard Knocks. How many guys they were on camera, they out to dinner together. We know good and well, if Hard Knocks wasn't around, some of those dinners would have been clubs in some cases. They didn't just say, hey, we're going to all go to dinner, Hard Knocks, y'all can come with us. No, they probably cleaned it up for Hard Knocks. Yeah, let's go to dinner for Hard Knocks. but they probably used to going out together partying. It's South Beach. And I ain't getting on any specific players, but look at what's happening on our team with some of the players and the way their personal lives is going and the things that's happening. And you can tell they having fun. They having big time fun. You can tell because the results and the news and the things that's coming out shows they partying. It's the part of Miami that the fans really don't see, but you always hear, oh yeah, South Beach is a distraction, but we never really hear about it. We never really see it. We never really see it, nor hear about it. But there is that stigma. It's South Beach, it's a distraction, blah, blah, blah. Because it is a party life, especially if you're out there making millions. And these kids, and y'all got to think about it. These guys coming into the league, they're boys. They're young men. They're not even fully matured. When they 22, 23 years old, y'all know what time it is. Most men watching right now, you know what time it was when you were 22, 23, 24. You know what time it is, man. Especially if you got some cash in your pocket. Like, come on. You're feeling yourself. You're in the 1% of all men, and we know what the result of that is. And these guys out here partying, man. These guys out here not really putting the work in necessary to work on their craft and be great. That's what you just heard. The same ones out here crying and happy he gone, he probably called him out. You ain't putting the work in. Every time he see you leave this building at 5 o'clock every day, he probably like, hey, man. And Vic Fangio, the type of person that probably got a program where you can stay at 7, you can stay at 9. He probably got things that can help you, but it's your choice whether you want to take advantage of it or not. And he probably show up, and it ain't nothing but the players who fighting to stay on the team in the room. None of the big-time players probably. That's the type of stuff that probably was going on. And when he sees those guys, he like, you ain't putting the work in, man. You ain't doing what you need to do. No, because certain behaviors still show up on film. But they want to portray it like it's all Vic Fangio. He didn't have a great relationship with his players. Well, can we start letting the glass not only be half empty, but allow it to be half full too? Maybe the players didn't know how to be coached. They're soft. Maybe the player, why does it always have to be the players don't really like his style? So what? Do your job. Like, gosh, most of y'all work in corporate America or work a job. And most of y'all know good and well you can't walk in your job today and say, I don't like how y'all doing this. Like, why do we allow this and then just automatically take their side? Fangio needs to grow up with the times. Nobody need to grow up with the times because in 2024, these times are soft. They're weakness and it ain't going to lead to nothing but destruction. Stop acting like these are the new times. You don't let no weakness conform you. You don't let all this passivity and you can't don't let that conform you to make you try to change because we got a whole generation of let me stop because I'm getting into a whole nother subject. Whole nother subject. But it's bleeding into everything. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And y'all wonder why we never could win. Because we sitting up here catering to this passivity. We're sitting here catering to this trash. And Jerome Baker said it best in his interview when he was talking about Flores. Flores was hard-nosed, man. He was brutal. But some guys couldn't handle it. I could, and it helped me be better. Flores came at me hard. Like, he'll call you trash and everything. But I was playing like trash. And Jerome Baker admitted, I had so much more respect for Jerome Baker after that interview. And he said it made me better. But everybody, they can't take it. His exact words, Jerome Baker, everybody couldn't take it. Yeah, them the weaklings. A lot of us that's my age or a little younger or much older, we know good and well we can words. We were raised on words not to allow words to hurt us. Literally, they punched in our head. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Like from elementary. All y'all who remember that, say yes in the chat, because maybe it's just me, but they ingrained this as a philosophy in my generation. Sticks and stones may hurt your bones, but words will never hurt me. Whatever it was. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. They ingrained that in us. I don't know what they're ingraining today. Sticks and stones will hurt your bones, but words will destroy you. I don't know. Is that what they're teaching now? Because every time somebody says something, it's like, man, like everybody in their feelings. I can go on Twitter right now and say Herbert is better than Tua. Man, like the world is about to end if I don't retract it. Wait till I see you in person. Wait till, really? This is the world we live in now. And they think it makes them tougher to confront words. It makes you soft. That they bother you in the first place. It's crazy to me. I can't, we gotta take control. I don't know. Something is it's getting people keep ignoring it and letting time go on, but society around us is getting worse for these very reasons. And we're just sitting around allowing it to. We gotta stop that stuff. We gotta cut that mess out. But I know why it's being allowed and it's continuing. I know why. And I'm not going to get into why because I don't want to be that controversial. But I know exactly why it's continuing and we're allowing it. Because even though many of us don't agree with it, the fact that it aligns with them in other ways, so they have to ride with it. I'll just say that. That's the problem with society today. That's what's going on without going into detail. It's like I got a brother and a cousin. My brother, I love him because he's my brother. My cousin, I love him too because he's my cousin, but I love my brother more. And I know my brother is wrong on this situation right here, but I gotta still roll with my brother because it's my brother. That's where the issue is coming from. In different forms. That's where the issue is coming from, even though the cousin is right. That's where the issue is coming from. And it's bleeding into society. Bleeding into it. TD, this all makes sense considering the decent performance we got by our backups. I met a lot of players last year, 2023 and 2022, when they played Chargers, and I was outside their hotel in Los Angeles, and a lot of players were in and out going to parties and coming back drunk. Even Stephen Ross was drunk. ASF, shaking my head. All I know is this. The culture on the Miami Dolphins team right now, it's not good. We have a top 3 roster in the NFL. Y'all think we didn't reach our goals because of injuries? Y'all think we didn't reach our goals because of injuries? Sorry, we could have been healthy and we probably would have lost in that first round. We weren't banged up like this versus the Chiefs the first time we played them. We had our players on the field for the most part. We would have still lost. You know why? Because the Chiefs are showing you what you can do when you pay attention to detail, when you focus on your craft. Like I was doing my Bleacher Report show today, right? And I was talking about the Miami Dolphins, our cap situation and all of that. And I realized something. We're just screwed through and through with the way that even our team is structured, y'all. Even the way our team is structured, right? Let me give you an example. We have Tyreek Hill gonna be like a $31 million cap hit, right? Do you know that the Chiefs' entire receiver core ain't more than $20 million? Their entire receiving core ain't making more than $20 million. And we got Tyreek for 31. Why is it that the team that's going to the Super Bowl in the Kansas City Chiefs got $26 million in cap space next year? And they can create another 50 if they want it. Why is that? Why is that? And we're just supposed to get better to be able to beat them when they got $26 million in cap space next year and they can create another 50 if they want, and they probably won't because we're a Super Bowl unit just like this. Even though we will get better, I'm sure they will, but we're just fundamentally all over the place as a team. And all of this starts with the way that you've aligned the team to hide flaws, to try to make it look better than it is. And at the end of the day, all truths are exposed eventually. All truths are exposed. How is Patrick Mahomes counting against the cap $57 million or something, $52 million next year, but they still got $26 million in space? Did y'all know that next year our top 10 players make up $200 million? Literally. Our top 10 players on the roster next year make up $200 million. With a $244 million salary cap. And right now we're at like 295. That's why we're 51 million over the cap. Our top 10 is taking up 200 million. And your highest salary next year is Tyreek Hill at 31.5 or something. And the Chiefs out here won a Super Bowl without him and finna win another one with less than what they had last year. If they win, but still going. We're fundamentally jacked up. You didn't need Tyreek Hill at 31 million. All of this for the sake of trying to prove that Tua can be the guy. You ain't proving nothing by doing this because this isn't a long-term success play. The Chiefs are a long-term success play. They can be long-term even paying their quarterback because they know what they're doing in the draft. They're drafting players well. They're not having to spend all the big money just to make the quarterback look better. I know we got a lot more people. We had like 350 people in here when we first started this stream. Y'all may have not have heard what Ron Jaworski said, but I'll go ahead and play it back for everyone. Here we go. And I'm not going to pause it this time. I'm going to play it through.
You have deep relationships with so many people in the NFL. And I'm curious from your personal standpoint or just more observing standpoint through the years, what do you think of Vic Fangio and what he'll bring to the table?
I am absolutely very excited about. I've known Vic Fangio back since the mid '80s when he was with the USFL Philadelphia Stars as a volunteer, unpaid assistant, cutting his teeth in professional football.
Wild.
I've kept in touch with Vic all through the years. You won't find a better man, a football lifer, a guy dedicated to his profession, a great designer, not an ego that impacts anyone else. And when I knew it was going to be Vic, it was going to be hired, I started doing my research again. I know his football style and what he wants to do. But, back in 2019, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur were pretty damn good NFL coaches. All said, the toughest coach to prepare for defensively is Vic Fangio. Now, that's saying a lot right there. When those three guys at the height of the game, recognize Vic Fangio as a great designer.
Yeah.
So, I kind of felt as things were falling apart after the season, there needed to be an adult in the room, a guy that really understood the ups and downs of the NFL. And I thought that's why Vic Fangio really fit that mold perfectly. He's head coach. He's been fired. He's been on different teams. He's been through it all.
And let me pause real quick. I said I wasn't going to pause, but I'm going to address something in the comment section. The people saying I'm done with Vic next. This isn't about Vic. They're about to expose a culture in our locker room over the next 60 seconds. He's about to expose the culture that's in our locker room right now. That's what this is about. Vic is gone. Who cares? He's done. But this is going to expose a culture in our locker room. Okay. And for those who are saying, oh, Jaworski is a diehard Eagle, take what he says with a grain of salt. What? He just want to come up here and lie and say, he wants to make up a fake story of what he's heard about Miami's locker room just to make Vic look better. If that's how you feel, okay. But I find that like there ain't better credibility in NFL when you talk about guys like this. He has nothing to gain from trying to lie about what he's heard is going on in that locker room. Nothing to gain. There is no benefit for him to come out and tell a lie about what he's heard is really going on in that locker room. So here's what he had to say. And that's up to you whether you want to take that as a fact or not. If you don't believe it, I'm just giving you the information. Let's hear from him himself.
So you're going to get a guy that has great experience.
Does the Dolphins players speaking out against him I can't stand Drew Rosenhaus. I'll still hold him responsible for the TO thing 20 years ago. But Drew Rosenhaus going public, which is sort of unusual for an agent to do so about a coordinator that got whacked.
Exactly. That's another thing. It is very unusual for an agent to go public about a defensive coordinator that's no longer there and talk about the players' relationship. And I think they're getting ahead of what the real issue was because they don't want their clients to look bad because they know in NFL circles with general managers, once what just was said gets out, which is already out, the whole league knows. You don't think these general managers and all these front offices don't know about this already? This is the stuff they talk about. They talk about everything going on in the NFL. And that's why I think Drew Rosenhaus was trying to get out in front of it to give his clients, a better look. Because this doesn't look good for them when they hit free agency. It doesn't look good at all. This is why you see big-time players that end up hard to find a team because of stuff like this. They talk about all players all day, every day, to see if they still got that burn and that passion, especially the older they get.
Or they moved on from, if you will. Does that give you some pause, or is that just the modern athlete, and does he need to do a better job from what you surmise of dealing with them?
It impacts you 0%. Coach is coach. And, I have connections as well around this league. And, I hear another side of that story. That there were some players on that defense that didn't want to work, didn't want to put the time in, didn't want to put the effort in, didn't want to make the commitment to be successful. Guys like to party at night, and South Beach is a really great place to party. And Vic tried to get those guys to push those guys to become harder workers and better athletes and more committed to their team. And he couldn't get through to those guys. So those are the guys that Vic was pushing, and they're the guys that are whining right now.
Vic was trying to get them to work harder. Put more time in, put more into. I got to hear these traits in particular because it's important.
At night, and South Beach is a really great place. Didn't want to put the time in. There were some players on that defense that didn't want to work.
Didn't want to work. Hold on, let me put work.
Didn't want to put the time in. Didn't want to put the effort in. Didn't want to make the commitment.
Time in, effort, commitment.
To be successful. Guys like to party at night. South Beach is a really great place to party. And Vic tried to get those guys to push those guys to become harder workers and better.
Tried to push them to become harder workers. To become harder workers.
Better athletes and more committed to their team. And he couldn't get through to those guys. So
better athletes, committed to team, couldn't get through. Sorry, I just had to write that down.
Those are the guys that Vic was pushing, and they're the guys that are whining right now.
Those are the guys he was pushing, and those are the guys who are whining right now. So Vic tried to get certain guys to work harder, put more time in, put more effort in, commitment to success, try to push to become harder workers, better athletes, committed to their team, and couldn't get through. Now, some would say, well, Vic failed because he couldn't get through. Do you want a player that you got to get through to, or one who already innately has that desire and fire in him? See, that's the problem that we have. We always talk about coaches. We glamour to the coaches that can motivate you. At what point do you start looking for players that are self-motivated? This is why I say what I say with our D-line. Do we have a Cameron Wake on our D-line on the edge? Do we have a Jason Taylor on the D-line on the edge? Let's have a moment of honesty here. As much as we love Chubb and Phillips, are either of them Cameron Wake or Jason Taylor? And this isn't a knock on them. I'm just using that as an example because I know what a great is and I know the work they put in. Nobody ever questioned the work Cameron Wake was putting in and when it's all said and done. Nobody ever questioned Jason Taylor's work. And that ain't a knock on Chubb nor Phillips. I'm just saying the culture of this defense. Why do we always put the onus on the coach to have to get through to these guys to get them to want to? Sorry, you ain't a dog if you ain't got that in you yourself. You ain't a dog if you ain't putting that work in yourself. And to know that Vic was trying to get certain players to do this, and those are the ones that are complaining now, we know what time it is. We know what time it is. TD, how do you fix this culture? You cut the head off. Because the culture is only what you allow it to be. And Chris Greer is allowing this mess. You allow those stories to come out about his relationship with players being a major factor. They want y'all to feel like that was the major factor, but they don't want to talk about why the relationship was what it was. Of course, the relationship was soured. If you're a manager at a company and you're trying to get the line staff, the employees to perform well, and they're just lazy, they don't care. They're not. They made it clear. Of course, there's going to be dissension. Of course you're not going to get along because Fangio's trying to accomplish something great. He knows what it takes, but you're not doing what it takes. You think you know more than him. You think you can go along doing what you've always been doing and you'll be just fine. Of course the relationship wasn't good. But why did we automatically make it seem like it was Fangio's fault? Why is it automatically the coach's fault? Is not what he was trying to do the right thing? Well, TD, it's how he goes about it. It shouldn't even be a how you go about it if you already got it in you to do it to where he ain't even got to say nothing. See, these players, y'all got to stop giving these players a pass. These are players supposed to have in them the fire that tells their DC, I don't have to get you to work because you already doing it, and I see it. Because it always shows itself. I don't have to get you to put the time in. I see you doing it. I don't have to get you to put the effort in. It's all showing. I don't have to get you committed to success because you working, putting the time in and effort is already doing that. I don't have to try to push you harder to work. You're pushing yourself as hard as you can. I don't have to get you to be a better athlete. You're obviously striving for it every day. I don't have to get you committed to the team. Now, that's something he might have to do, get you committed to the team. Listen, I don't want you to travel because, or as a corner, because we need to run our system. If I got you traveling, we can't run the system. Now we come more of a man-based scheme if I got you traveling. Y'all ever think about that? Why isn't Ramsey shadowing the number one? Then it ain't the Fangio scheme. So let's just go to a man-based team, Ramsey followed or whatever, and everybody be athletes and get torched all day. Take advantage of Kohu and all them all day. So obviously, even on the field, these players weren't bought into the vision because there was some buck. And the only reason that he's fussing and coming at them is because they're not doing what they're supposed to do on the field. And if they would put the work in, the time and effort, then they could do what they need to do on the field and the results would show. Ramsey did shadow Diggs in the last week and burned him every time. And guess what? That might have even been a compromise by the front office. We need you to put Ramsey on the best corner. We need you to figure it out. You don't think they weren't hearing all of the complaints by the fans and the media? That probably was an issue right there. And Fangio probably after the game said, told you so. This is what you get if we do that. Because Ramsey was getting smoked too. And outside of Ramsey getting smoked, other people were getting smoked. You got to do your job so that you can say Fangio is an issue. Until you do your job, you can never prove that he's an issue, and that's the problem. Coaches coach, players need to play. Stop making it, y'all go ahead and y'all eat up everything the media, the narrative that they try to spew. Did anybody ever bring out this side of the story? Did anybody with all of their sources? And let me tell you another thing about the media with sources. Let me tell you another issue with the media sources. You only get one side of the spectrum. And you know what? I ain't going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I got to call Omar Kelly out on this. I'm putting a name to it. Omar Kelly. The problem with media having sources is that you become biased to pander to your source. Because many people already know you rub shoulders with a few players. It's a part of what comes with the relationships and the things you've been in. But you're getting their side of the story, which made it easier for you to come out and put the player side of the story and never mention the other side of the story. You know why? Because you don't know the other side of the story, and real journalism would have been fighting to find out the other side of the story and not just being biased to one side and then calling out little people like TD Finstock for his version of what was going on from what he heard, when you only heard one perspective. Now that this is out, I want to see you come out and talk about this being the case. And make sure when you do it, you don't get biased on your side. You report it like news and say, this is the flip side. So there's a lot going on here. Don't say you believe it or not because you're a journalist. It's not your job to believe it or not. It's my job as a YouTuber to believe it or not a journalist. That's why you blew my mind when you went on your own show and literally said out of your own mouth that you have interviewed players in the locker room and you knew they were lying, so you didn't write it. What kind of journalism is that? Integrity. Because you called me out for my integrity. What kind of journalistic integrity is that? What type of journalism integrity is that? Please enlighten me. That's not integrity. It's not your job to decide who's right or wrong. It's your job to report the news and what you get from these players on both sides and allow the people to decide. And that's what's wrong with journalism today and why it's dying. Because you're making a decision for the people. Just saying. Oh, no, AB, I'm not telling him what to do. I'm just calling out the hypocrisy. He can do whatever he want to do. But at the end of the day, he need to stop trying to tell me what to do. Stop telling me to dead all this sort of stuff. If I talk to people, I'm going to tell people I talk to people. It don't make those people right or wrong. It's my job. This is what we do over here on YouTube. We get to speak our mind and tell you how we feel. Journalists, edited journalists aren't supposed to do that. Because when you do, it makes you a bad one. Just saying. TD, you and Omar Kelly, different levels. Absolutely, we're different levels. In his world writing articles, he's like a A+, and I'm a G because I'm not even on the spectrum. I don't write articles. He answers to somebody. I don't. In this world of YouTube and doing what we're doing, I'm the A+. He ain't even close to this level because I get to express my opinion wholeheartedly without the repercussions of the team. And he went on his platform on YouTube and said he can't say everything because you get pushback from it. Cowardice. But it's how he make his money, so he got to cower to somebody he answers to. I don't. He ain't on this level. He's not on this level. When he can speak his mind freely without repercussion and not worry about not being blackballed by the Dolphins, he'll never be on this level until he can. But it's easy to be on this level. Just do it. But he can't because, they got that chain on him. Hey, now. Be careful what you say now. We ain't going to let you in this room. I don't have any restrictions. I have zero restrictions. None whatsoever. That's why I can come and tell you the raw truth. And people are like, why you got such a problem with Omar? Well, he started this. I didn't say nothing about him. He came at me on his the radio show and his show, and I didn't say nothing. He started it. But I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish it, and you know why? Because if he was just talking about me, I would be fine with that. Because I get talked about every day and I walk right past it. But when he brought up the people that watch my channel, that's when he crossed the line. Not all y'all, because some of y'all my haters too, but when he called his large following, when he called them out, when he started talking about the viewers of this channel, that's when I had a problem. That's the one thing you're not going to attack because they make it. They make this show. You're not going to attack that. All his viewers and haters, they'll hate, and it is what it is. I'm ready for those haters over there. They didn't do nothing to you. Some of these people don't even agree with me, so why are you coming at them? No, that's where you cross the line. That's where I do feel some type of way because I ride for the people who help me do better for my family, who help me do bigger and better things, who support me when I say pull up over here, pull up over there, they front row. Oh, I ride for those people. I ride. And no, I felt I did get in my feelings and felt some type of way when he said that. No, you ain't finna come at them people like that. You don't even know them. You won't even allow a whole audience to generate their own opinion. And I promote making your own opinion over here. You know nothing about this show, but you're talking about it. That ain't gonna happen. No, sir. No, sir. I'm good with everybody trashing me. But as soon as you start talking about the audience that we have over here, you just cross the line. We go to war about that any day of the week. So that's my take on it. So don't think I'm just being messy and all this and that. No, you came for us. He ain't come for me. He came for us. He came for us. And trust me, if I wasn't on the level with somebody, they would never come for me. They would never come for me. They would never come for me. You don't come for people that ain't on your level. It ain't that serious. That's why I don't talk about certain people anymore. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. AB said the people you make money off of, yes. The people that support me and allow me to do bigger and better things in life, allow me to pay bills, allow me to, do things for my kids. You think it's shameful to say the people that you make money off of, when they support me, I make money off of it. Yes, I'm not gonna see it. That ain't something to like. AB, I get when you're on the channel and you're being a troll, and I allow it all the time because you're not disrespectful to me. So I allow it all the time. But you got to stop, bro. At some point, let's just cut the beef and just keep it 1,000. I'm not ashamed about nothing. Yes, I ride for the people that I make money off of. Who doesn't? People out here getting fired because they say something that disrespect the people that make money off the company. If I work for Disney and I say something out of bounds with the people that love Disney, they're going to fire me over the people they make money from. Like, you act like this is something like embarrassing or like a hidden or something, bro. At some point, you got to stop that. Again, I don't block people unless they're disrespectful. But at some point, bro, you got to stop that. I mean, that's just, it's like, at some point, I ain't got a word for it, but it ain't, at some point, just like, nothing. I think you get the point. I think you get the point. When somebody donates on this channel, they don't say, oh, he sold me on something. And I don't look at the donation and say, ooh, I just tricked them into giving me $5. Yeah, I got him. Like, come on, bro. Come on. I didn't look at this right here from DD and say, I got him for 20. If he only knew, I tricked him into that. Like, bro, I ain't never asked nobody for $1 on this channel. People do that out the kindness of their heart and donate to this channel, bro. I ain't never. The only time I ask for money, and it ain't even asking, it's up to y'all, is when my wife's birthday or Mother's Day or something. I say, don't give me nothing. Send it to my wife. Show her love because she holds this channel down. I was supposed to go pick my kids up at 3:00. Hey, babe, do you mind going to pick them up? Because I got something just came through, breaking news. All right, that's fine. I'll be back. She went. I'm here doing this. That's who I have. And again, I don't even ask for that. But I let people know, hey, if you want to bless her on this day, do so. I've never asked for a penny on this channel, bro. So don't make that something trying to insinuate, man. People do stuff for me out of the love of their heart. When they call me and say, I got you some free tickets, homie. When they call me, bro, I want to send you something for this. Bro, I want to, hey, this and that. Hey, I want to send you something, a gift. Man, people just appreciate the work I put in and day out every day to give them content that they enjoy. They enjoy this content. And that's why we have a large following. As he admitted on this podcast, he has a really big following. It's a large following full of haters. Like, no, don't come for my people. Don't come for my people. Okay. You got an awesome wife, TD. Yes, man. She's more than that. She's more than that. I don't deserve her. I certainly don't deserve her. That's why God is good. God is great. Man, he's amazing. He's amazing. So I'm thankful to him every day. And whether he gives me all the things he gives me or not, I'll still love him and appreciate him. But I love reaping the benefits of his blessings, because everything he gives me is a blessing, man. I got this pen that still got ink in it. Thank you, God. Like, whatever, Yeah, man, we got over 600 people in here right now. It was 670 a moment ago. Yeah, we've built, see, I keep saying we. Y'all got to understand, well, you don't hear me often say I. But we've built something special here, and people are bonded to it. We've built something special. And no, you done lost your mind. You think I'm gonna let people attack it and disregard it like that? We're going on 6 years of people. Well, 4 years. We've 6 years going in, but at least 4 years of people trying to tear us down. They've been trying to cancel us, tear us down, do all they can, and we weathered the storm every step of the way. AB said, all people, this is the last comment I'm going to read, AB, for yours, because it seems controversial, already questioning. All people on YouTube want more views. Everyone is the same. AB, man, this is the last plea to you. And hopefully the next message I see from you is a different one that makes you an ally instead of a detractor. Not all people on YouTube want more views. Let me educate you, and this will also educate the people. People that don't get opportunities want views. Let me be clear. People that don't get opportunities want views. If I was just about views, I keep telling you I have 60,000 subs right now, because there would not be a bigger two in the year. There wouldn't be a bigger two in the year. And I know I could two in the year better than every two in the year if I wanted to. Ooh, I could two in the year better than any two in the year out here if I wanted to. Facts. I stand on that. 10 toes down. If I wanted to two in there, I out two in there any two in there there is. Any one of them. Oh, but listen. Only the people that aren't getting opportunities are looking for clicks and views. They have to compromise their internal integrity for clicks and views. I don't. I get to tell my raw, unadulterated truths and what I believe. And if it minimizes my clicks, I'm okay. But you know why? Here's what I know. And I didn't know this at first because I had to gamble on myself not selling out. There does come a time in YouTube where it's like, man, I know that this is what the audience would love. Should I do it? Or should I keep it 100 even if they don't want to hear it? This ain't, you don't want to hear bad when everything looks real good. I had a moral decision to make and I couldn't sell out. I knew that I would be sacrificing. I knew that I would be taking an L temporarily. But you know what I always knew? There's nothing better than authentic people. Authentic people love authentic people. Now, there aren't as many authentic people. Thus, I'm not worried about the views because I would have went for the masses, which are a lack of authentic people. There aren't many authentic people. But if I can be authentic and authentic people will gravitate to me, not only will they gravitate to me, but it is so scarce in this world for authenticity, they will lock on to me. They will stay with me. They will ride with me. They will take this journey with me. They will climb this mountain with me, and we will climb together. I'll have they back. They'll have my back. Perfect marriage made in heaven. And that's what you seeing, bro. That's all you seeing. I may not have 50,000 subs, but I got loyals. I got loyalty, and they know I'm loyal. I got people that are going to ride or die no matter what. So when Tua's doing good and I say, hey, he looking good, they ain't going to jump off the ship. Oh, he like Tua now, bye. No, they even gonna ride whenever things aren't as agreeable. Because that's what it's about. Authenticity. You got to keep it 100. You can't keep operating off of lies because they're going to always catch up to you and you're going to look stupid and you're going to sit around here trying to figure out how you can damage control it. I ain't never got to worry about that. And then the moments where I am wrong, I was wrong. That's authentic in itself by telling you I was wrong. That's what it's about. And you know what authenticity has gotten me? It's gotten people calling saying, we love what you're doing. We love that your people gravitate to you and they support you. We want to ride with you. We want to partner with you. We want to work with you. So, all right, man, I'm finna go to birthday dinner with my son and have a good time. But that's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. So all 670 people watching, thank y'all for tuning in to TD Fans Talk. If you haven't seen the video, go ahead and watch it. Go watch the video of what was said about the other side of the story, Fangio's side pretty much of what's being said. And you'll see that there are bigger issues in this locker room than we would like. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fans up no matter what. Thank y'all for riding with me, and I'm going to always ride with y'all and have y'all back, and I'll never let that happen again. I'm not going to be letting things like that happen at the audience, all right? Love y'all. See y'all soon. Peace. I am out. Yeah, it's Cammy's birthday. He just turned 6 today, just FYI.
Birthday,
Yes, the wifey's right over here. We're finna go to dinner with him and have some fun. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. The video, just back up in the stream. You'll see it pop up on the screen. You'll hear the video, okay? You'll hear the video, and it is a revelation, Fangio's side of the story. We got issues on the defensive side of the ball with these players. They don't want to work. They don't want to put the time in, the effort, commitment to be successful. He tried to push them to become harder workers and better athletes and get them committed to the team, and he couldn't get through to them because they'd rather party on South Beach. That's to sum it up, but go hear the words yourself, okay? Don't just take my word for it. Go hear it yourself. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Salute to you all. I'll see you soon. Oh, well, one more super chat. I almost forgot you, bro. TD, you tricked me. You made me love your channel and all the hard work with all the hard work you do. I feel tricked. Keep up the good work. God sees what you're doing. I appreciate you, William. And for those who just came in, that's sarcasm because of what I just said. All right, but I appreciate you, William. Love you, brother. And thank you for always showing love and support, as always. Fans up no matter what. Peace. I'm out.